Good evening. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this is for Thursday, the 5th of December, 2024. You know, today's markets, in my opinion, today was a day where a lot of pros came out. Actually, yesterday, I think, was where they began, and they got themselves into a position to take a look at what the U.S. jobs report is going to show us, and from there try to figure out what they think the Fed's going to do. Whether the Fed cuts another quarter point or not, in all honesty, they've already told you they're going to go into pause phases. Do you read, do you listen to what the different Fed members had been saying? Now, we're in the quiet period now, so once you go there, you're not going to hear anymore. And it finished up, I think, when you heard yesterday Fed Chair Powell say it. He said, this isn't a race. We're in no hurry. We've got time to get it. He told you the economy, his words, remarkably strong. That tells you that if they're going to cut rates into a remarkably strong economy, won't that create more inflation? How's he going to get down to his 2% goal? I mean, these are the things that the market is thinking about. So what we saw today happen is you backed off on the stock indices, which to me makes all the sense in the world. I was expecting it, and I've told traders as of yesterday, and I mentioned this yesterday, that on the rally I thought they should have taken some money in the QQQ, yesterday also in the Dow, areas to come in and out of. Tesla's nonstop to the upside because of Trump. I understand they're going to have new cars, but it's a little early to be buying because they're going to have new cars that may not be here until 2026. I don't know when they're going to come out, but it doesn't look like they're there ready to come out. Uber got smashed today because Waymo is going to Miami. So instantly they go, oh, that's going to hurt it. I don't know. To me, you got to have an app. Why not partner with Uber? They got everything set up instead of building it on your own. But that's just me. You know, these companies go in and they think they'll dominate. Just remember, these taxis are the new thing. No people, going to displace a lot of drivers over time. They're not even coming out with this probably until 2026. So the market got hit because now you've got to revalue what happens to Lyft and Uber as these different cities now come online. Remember, I was just in California and I told you I saw them. And I saw those little carts going down the street. You don't get to see that in Chicago. You don't get to see it in New York City. But when you go out west and you see it, your jaw drops. It's pretty interesting fare. And then you're going to have the Musk era come on with it. And that's another reason that you saw Tesla up. Well, if Waymo can do it, how far behind is Tesla? So you're buying everything in that genre. That's the way to, I think you have to look at it. All righty. So I want to remind you of something important. My sale ends on my research for this year for the 50% off numbers now. And that's going to be tomorrow. So if you want to, any one-year subscription, any combination, if you go to the website, it's all explained in great detail, what I give you, what you get in it, and you get a lot, a real lot. The videos alone in the morning are probably worth a heck of a lot because you get to see the analysis on 40 to 50 charts in each one, because I'll go from daily charts to weekly, and I try to cover at least 40 markets. Well, a number of them have the weekly with it. And then the written updates and the special reports. And I didn't do a special report this week for one reason only. I wanted to finish up my sale, and then they'll be next week. We said it'll interfere with everything on the website, and that my staff was right on it. All right, so IraEpstein.com. When you go there, just look on the top left. You'll see it. There'll be a cursor up here you can go to as well. But the elephant in the room is going to be tomorrow, the non-farm payrolls data. And that's going to come out at 7:30 in the morning. And they are forecasting 215 to 218,000 jobs. Remember, now the people coming back from the hurricane are going back to work. Milton and everything else that was last month. The jobless rate is expected to go up 0.1, they say, to 4.2. I've seen 4.1 numbers as well. And average hourly earnings creeping higher, not falling. We haven't seen a negative on that, period. So when you think that through, that's quite a bit that you have to deal with on those markets. Alrighty. So when we take a look at Robinhood, you made the new high today and kaboom. That market let go. From the high to low was almost about 7-8%. That's a lot. The market finished down 2.7%. Acts to me like the market wants to correct a bit. The question is it going to get under the 36.61 level on the correction? The support tonight is 35.83, but that number's climbing. Yesterday, the number was 35.37, roughly 46 cents lower. Day before, 34.77. So let's say it's 40 to 50 cents in there. So let's add that to it and say that right in this range, around the 36.20 level, could be where the market wants to come up to that 18-day average or fall to it for its first support test. What held the market back? I showed this to you yesterday. I said yesterday, I think the pros are going to come out at the upper Bollinger Band. The tapes are right there. You're overbought. You can easily get the correction, and that's what's going on. And that's because when you get overbought, unlike here, this was the embedded reading. When you have the embedded reading, you treat the Bollinger Band different. You're still a buyer on the breaks, but you had lost it, you came up, you didn't re-embed, and that's the problem the market had. XRT, also, are we going to pull back a little bit right here? I don't see a big problem on the chart just yet, other than, and let me show you this, what the other than is. You had an outside day up on Wednesday. If you take out the low of an outside day up within a specified time that I teach in my charting course, and it's short, then until the market gets back over that high like it did today, the odds favor. The market is going to go back down and challenge the closest main moving average, which in this case on the close was 80.99, but that'll climb a little bit tomorrow like I just showed you in the other chart. On CrowdStrike, I was hoping we'd get actually more action against that 18-day average because you're not trending. You have a lower low and a higher high. I still want to see more churning away there. In Rivian, as we've talked and I've said it, I thought the market was going to fight a battle between the Bollinger Band, the 100 and 200-day average. And I have been on the money ever since we said that, because of that $6 billion loan being given to the marketplace for it. And can it be stopped by the Trump people? Yes, but it would certainly look like a lot of favoritism to Musk, and I think that'd be dirty. Plus, I think the market needs another one. Lion Electric closed down now their bus building plant, and that was a neat plant. I looked at it, it was one of the most modern, and it couldn't do it. So I'm looking to see does help come in some way from a competitor, what's going to happen there. You want to keep America with more of these. Now, I just read how China thinks it can get around some of the tariffs in different countries. And instead of just all electric vehicles, they want to do more hybrids. And that way they're not just on the EV part. Guess what percentage today, if you're in the United Kingdom, of cars bought fully electric are? 25%, 1 out of 4. That's pretty big. So obviously the U.S. is far behind on the amount of charging stations we need in order to enjoy driving these cars the way that they're meant to be driven. That's what I think. And if I were in the transportation department with Trump, I would turn my attention to that. That's where a fortune is to be made. America will convert. I really believe that. Easily, if they feel that driving distances are a non-issue. You've got to find a way to do that. And obviously, in the Netherlands, they've done it. The UK, 25% of the cars being bought are now that amount, 1 out of 4. They're feeling better about it. Higher lows, higher highs, hugging the 18-day average. I don't see how you go anywhere until we know more about China, unless leaks come as to what they're going to do in that closed-door meeting that's coming up now. In Toll Brothers, you're still wiping out the longs that bought on this. I mean, the simple fact is we're in December, and I realize the whole United States isn't always cold, but the vast majority is. And when you get that, how many homes are you really doing? Number two, even with, interest rates have been high a long time. So what's the profit margins that they have to work with if they do something with mortgages? Now, admittedly, they're dealing with homes that are $1 million plus homes. A lot of the buyers are cash buyers. It doesn't matter. But that segment's not as big as you might think it is, although maybe it is with, Bitcoin hitting $105,000 a coin. Maybe it's bigger than we know. There's a lot of young people that are rich now. XHB, the other home builder part. Nah, I don't know that you're going much under the 100-day average. This break is probably getting a bit extended, but when I looked at momentum, I said, is it? And because you're not oversold, I'm going to say it. I don't know that it's overextended yet. In XLF, I thought you'd try to fight a battle at the 18-day average because now the market's going to look to see what does the jobs data, which way does it point that the Fed would go to give you a bit more certainty. As I pointed out, I'd love to see the Fed give you the quarter point in December and go into the pausing. Again, the word remarkable from the Fed chair just sticks in my brain with that. XLI, the industrial sector, caved in today. Outside day down. So before I get friendly this market, you got to take out today's high. Barring that, you've opened the door up for the 138.10 level if the market continues down. In the energy sector, you're down to the spot where I think the pros are covering. I think they began yesterday, and you see you got to that Bollinger Band. Could you slip more? Yeah, but as a trader, you're not trying to pick out the last penny. You're in a zone. So the zone for support should be from the lower band down to the 90.67 level. Gold market rolled over today. So gold is saying that there's more downside. You'd have to get back up and over yesterday, Wednesday's high, and stay above it to neutralize the bearishness the market has. And I'm not convinced of anything just yet, but if that happens, okay. And if it doesn't do that and starts rolling down, you've got the 238.20 to 236.17. In plain English, I don't see it being a buy on that chart formation. Silver's a better buy than the gold because it's got China going for it if they do anything positive, and copper's trying to hang on here at the 18-day average. Both of those are industrial metals, and they got their fingers crossed that China will help them out. Then we get to the BND and TLT. When I see stochastics that have both numbers over 80, day one, yesterday was day two. Now, you don't have three in a row. Tomorrow's the key day. It all ties in with the jobs report. So I'm waiting, and this is where you should have, I think, lightened up a lot of trade. You don't have to be a hero into that report. Let the dust settle after it comes out. Don't be the first guy on the street in the pre-markets. Be careful. Lower highs, lower lows in the dollar. You're opening the door up for potentially 29.71. But when I see an oversold market, generally speaking, most models that I'm used to don't go in when the market's already oversold. So it's bearish, but I don't think they're going there. And you're not quite overbought in FXE. It's a better play to think you can get to the upper Bollinger Band. If you take out the lows of yesterday, you got a game that's going nowhere for a bit. So that's how I'm going to view all that. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll catch up with you first thing in the morning. Take advantage of the sale that we have going. You're not going to get that again from us. This is the 50% off this year. Take advantage of it. Ends tomorrow, as I said on our website. We even have a timer. It shows you how many hours you have left for the sale to end. IraEpstein.com, top left. I'll catch up with you.